Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where last episode we captured this Mad Cat Mark II, and we are beginning work on the repairs. Now we have a lot more work to undertake on these repairs, and we're not going to wait for the Mad Cat Mark II. We are going to want to refit the Orion. Do we want to do that now? Perhaps. You know what? Let's do it. I'm a little underwhelmed with the Orion in its current state. Let's go ahead and stop work on it. And let's refit this bad boy. I want this thing to be a little bit different. So we're going to drop the ER large lasers. We're going to drop the double Gauss. I didn't realize that was a double Gauss, but that's fine. We're going to max that out. And then I would like potentially to put on some Clan Ferrofibrous armor. Yeah, it'll be a little bit spendy, but we've got the cash. And we've got a missile and a laser hardpoint in each arm. And then we have this ballistic hardpoint. I'd love to put in like a UAC 10, although I would prefer like a UAC 20. That would be even better. A sawed-off thumper. Cannot be fired at flying targets. Okay. It doesn't have a minimum range, but it's a thumper. So there is that. We might want to think about instead going for like the Heavy Rack 5. Do we have ammo for this thing? Oh yeah, it wouldn't go in that arm. It would go here. Do we have ammo for this thing? Ammo Heavy Rack 5. Yes, we do. In fact, we have a double Heavy Rack 5 ammo. Excellent. So that gives us 36 shots. So that's 6 turns if we are maxing that out. Sounds good to me. We'll put that down in that leg. And we don't have internal structure on this. We can still put endosteel structure in. So that gives us 14 tons to work with. Now we want this thing to be a little bit brawlier, right? But I still don't think this is the right mech for the large variable speed pulse laser. That is not the correct tooltip. There we go. Yeah, I don't think this is the correct mech for this. We do have anti-air targeting as a quirk in this, which isn't bad. We have a pair of heavy RL5s. However, what I'm thinking about is maybe plopping in a pair of Rocket 20s in the arms, like this, and then using the other 11 tons that we have to work with. And, I mean, we could put the ER large lasers back in. That's an option. We don't have a double heatsink kit, and we don't have any clan heatsinks. That's unfortunate. So how do we want to use this extra ton? Well, what if we were to drop the large lasers? That's 36 heat. Let's think here. We need an energy weapon. PPCs would take up 2 more tons per large laser. They would produce less heat, but they do a little bit more damage. Now, we wouldn't have the tonnage necessarily to get away with doing this. I do feel like this would be better if we had the tonnage. What if instead of the Engine Core 300, we were to back that off to like a 250, but our movement is fine as it is. I like our movement in its current position. Now, these Rocket 20s are one shot, of course. We have a flak FCS on here. That's okay. So how can we shed ourselves a couple of tons? Well, we could go for, like, do we have an XL gyro? We do. That would work, actually. We could put an XL gyro in there. And then just drop a little bit of armor in this leg, say. Maybe this one as well, although this one does have the ammo in it. So I would kind of prefer something like this. That would work. And I feel like this would be an upgrade. It's slightly less heat efficient, but we can always tone down our racks. And we also need to keep in mind, this is assuming that we're going to be firing the rocket 20, so that's an extra 18 heat there. So this is going to go from 93 heat down to 75 heat, I think, if I mathed correctly there. So that will be much more manageable. Much, much more manageable. And I don't think we have a built-in heatsink. No, we don't. So that's fine. We're running a clan cockpit. We do have basic sensors in this. And I think that's okay. We'll go ahead and validate this. Yeah, that's going to be spendy.
I'll get it in the schedule.
We'll get that going. That is going to need to be top priority below the Mad Cat Mark II. Something like that. And now we're low on funds. Luckily, we do have a good number of vehicle parts to scrap. At least I believe we do. Well, let's see here. Yep, here's a carrier. There's 109k. Nice. What else? We should have a few more. That was a full chameleon there, but I'm not going to scrap that at this time. Here's a light carrier. 35k additional. A trident. That'll be another 27k. A striker. That'll be another 13. Another striker. That one will be another 13. A plainsman. That'll be another 112. So we're now solid here. Of course, we're looking at having to take this financial report or deploy without a lot of our mechs. So that is something to think about. There is this weapons carrier here that I missed. That's another 35k. Okay, that is fine. Did I miss any others through here? Potentially, yes. I missed a vedette. Another 31k. Any others? I may have missed more. It's very, very possible. No, that looks correct. We do have an Ostrock that we can ready, but I'm not in a hurry to do that at this time. So all of this looks correct then. Excellent. Let's hop into the store and see about pruning down some of our excess equipment. Okay, what do we got here? I mean, we've got a chameleon. I'm not going to sell that right now, though. We currently have 4 AP Gauss rifles. I'm going to keep those around, actually. Those are handy to have. Do we need 3 Gauss rifles? We'll keep it. Those aren't really huge amounts. I don't think we need 4 LBX AC-10s. We're going to sell 2 of those. Similarly, 4 LRM-15s, we're going to sell 2 of those, and I'm going to sell a single LRM-20 as well. These medium lasers, I'm going to sell 2 of. Medium pulse lasers seem fine to keep in stock. That's a lot of small lasers. I'm going to sell 4 of them. We'll keep 5 around. I don't like Thunderbolts. I'm just going to get rid of them. Generic armor? We'll keep 1 around. We'll keep 1 generic armor. That'll be fine. I don't think we need 5 basic cockpits, so we're going to sell 4 of those. Wonderful. As far as all these engine sizes go, do we have any extras? No? Okay, that's fine. We're doing pretty well on our FCS collection. In fact, I'm going to sell 1 indirect FCS here. There we go. Now, I don't think we need 22 heat sinks. I'm going to sell just 2 of those. We'll keep 20 around. We don't need these small jump jets. I don't like using mask. We'll sell all 3 of those. Excellent. And what else? We've got those Solaris spikes I should get around to using. Now we're into ammo, and I want to keep the ammo around. So we'll call that good for now. We have recovered our funds nicely. We do need an engineering upgrade. We could grab a morale point or a 3 morale and a medical point from the low G pool. Training Module 2 is cheap. So these 2 upgrades are quite expensive. These upgrades are cheap at this time. I'm going to go for the low G pool for the additional medical point, but any of these over here would be good to go for. So let's go ahead and tick forward and get some of our mechs back. That said, it's going to be a while. We can only work on 3 simultaneously. Indeed. So this is going to take some time. We'll get our mech warriors back. We'll throw a garden party. Sure, why not? Morale increased by 10 plus 3 medical points for 30 days. Okay. I mean, it's not great. We don't have very many injured mech warriors, only Paladin, and he'll be back in 4 days. So we'll tick forward until he's back. There we go. And then we're going to go through and do our training.
Good to go.
Let's see what we've got here. A point of piloting for Brother will be fine.
Skipper, waiting for orders.
Point of guts for Coma.
Training complete.
Excellent.
Right here.
Waiting for orders.
Aye, aye.
Yes.
Anybody
Commander.
else?
Good to go.
Commander.
Nope, that looks good. Fantastic. So we're going to continue to tick forward here for a little bit. And of course, we've not gotten a lot of work done. I understand this. So we're going to tick on forward. BA 1100 ends, huh? Paladin thinks that it will really improve the mech stability. We'll just explain the prank. Okay, Succubus is now in low spirits. Sure. Okay, so we're going to get our financial report here in a moment, and yeah, it's going to get us close to bankruptcy. I understand that. Yikes. The low G pool will finish up. We're not going to get another upgrade going just yet, but let's continue work on our repairs. So we'll let those finish up. And our last few, how long do we have on our financial report? 20 days? Okay. Our last few are going to need to continue to tick forward. Okay, 11 more days. Skinny dipping. Oh boy, we're going to erase the recording. Morale increased by 10. Nobody wants to see that. Fantastic. Okay, now we absolutely have to deploy. And so we shall. We're going to go to the command center, and we're going to look for something that will build us up a good amount of cash. That's basically all we're looking for out of this one is cash. This assassinate mission might not be too bad. 20% bonus per lance. Maybe we just run this something like this. This is 2 free priority salvage. Well, 1 free priority salvage. We're going to take this. This looks good. The Wolverine isn't ready. I mean, we don't necessarily need it to be ready, but I do want it to be worked on. What was wrong with the Wolverine? I don't recall. We'll find out. So the Wolverine is ready. Fantastic. Just needed to repair the lower arm actuator. Didn't even need to tick forward or pay any money. So we are, as I said, going to be running... When was it? This one? No, that's the battle mission. This one? That's the escort. It was this one. Fantastic. And we're going to run it right here. There we go. That is more like it. Now the Wolverine is good to go, and let's just do this. Yeah, the Centurion has unused tonnage, but that's fine. Ah! Apparently I, left the correct scene. That was my mistake. There we go. We are now back in the correct scene. Wonderful. So the question is, how long is this going to end up taking, right? The answer, I think, is probably not very, but we'll see. I may have to put a cut in the middle of this one because we did have quite a bit of out-of-mission prep time there. We'll have to see how the timing is looking, but for now, I'm hoping that we'll be able to wrap this up within the time frame of this episode. We'll find out. For one thing, we'll see how long it takes to actually load up, but I mean, a 20% bonus per lance if we can also destroy his personal guard is not bad, so we need to destroy the target and escape. We've had confirmation from several sources that a high-ranking The Draconis Combine officer is moving in the open. Seems superfluous, but okay. This is a rare opportunity to disrupt their command structure on Cimarron. We'll pay a 20% bonus per lance if you can also destroy his personal guard. Commander, we should expect heavy resistance. Okay, sure. In we go! Ooh, this looks solid. Target officer should be in the area. He's apparently up on the mountain. I don't know about that. We can deploy down on this plane. And that seems fine by me. So we're going to do something like that. Okay, so we immediately see a Draconis Combine Orion right next to us.
Keep your eyes peeled, Commander. This looks like an ideal place for an ambush.
We're nice and magenta, so that's wonderful. The shaders failed to load. I mean, I did click through very quickly on the loading screen, so that's the thing. Hello, pause menu. We're going to reserve, and we're just going to let them move first. We want to, for sure, let this Orion move. There's also somebody right behind us. This guy here, a cargo truck. Setting up some flames around the Orion. Okay. Now we definitely want the Orion to move. We will reserve again. The light carrier moves up, fires on the Orion. Drops mines over there. Okay. So the Orion will move through the minefield. We're going to need to clear some of this minefield out. Let's see where the Orion goes. That's the second Orion. We're going to need to reserve one final time.
Reserving action.
Okay, chemical fire. Getting a lot of damage into that Black Knight, actually, considering we've got 6 evasive pips. But okay, he got himself some chemical fire and some leg damage. Not too bad. I'm noticing a small problem here. And that problem is that we couldn't go to the other lance, so we had to reserve again, unfortunately. That's just a UI bug. It should no longer be a thing. Rude.
They're blowing through my armor.
Wow, none of our AMS hit either. Well, that cargo truck will not last too much longer. Okay, so first up, we're going to move our Salamander. Now, the Salamander appears to maybe be stuck here? No, it was just calculating. Okay, so do we have any solid targets for the Salamander? Actually, these 2 helicopters up here aren't a bad target. We're going to position up over here. And we're going to fire in flak mode at these guys. Standard flak on this cavalry. Light them up.
Target confirmed.
Some solid damage there. We got a structure exposure on the cavalry. Sadly, the warrior didn't take, or the A11 rather, didn't take any damage there. 5 damage to the cargo truck. Sure. That's fine. And it's definitely looking like we're going to need to put a cut in this episode, but not quite yet. I'll go for a few more minutes here. The Wrecker moves up and fires on the light carrier. Straight up kills it. Okay. That thing does a lot of damage. That is noted. It's currently jammed, but we can't rely on it staying that way. We're going to move the Awesome up to here.
I'm going.
And the Awesome is going to fire on either the Wrecker or the Orion. And I think the answer is the Wrecker here. I would like to eliminate this thing. Do we fire the eye rocket? I don't think so. This is still round 1.
Locked and loaded.
Yeah, no destruction there, but it's still round 1, so we're not surprised by that.
What can I do for you?
Okay, our Wolverine is going to position over here. We're attempting to protect the flank of our Salamander a bit, and we're going to fire on either of these. I think the Wrecker again. I want to eliminate that ballistic weapon.
Firing everything I've got.
Solid. We'll take it.
Knocked out a vehicle.
Okay, phase 11. Who do they move? Prowler. This is fairly irrelevant. Yep, does not matter. At this point, our Black Knight is the one that moves, and actually we need to reserve it because we need to move this direction. So we shall. Phase 10. Who do they move in phase 10? A Maxim. Cool. So that's not all that threatening either.
How's it
Okay.
going?
So our Hector is going to swing out over this direction.
Roger.
And it is going to probably fire on the Orion, although... Are the hit odds better out here? No, they're not. We're going to fire on the Orion and attempt not to build up too much heat here, so only a single ERPPC. We're going to fire the tag first, though.
Roger.
Okay, 39 damage into the Orion will do.
Receiving.
Our Orion is going to position here. Now remember, this is our changed Orion
now.
model. And that's going to fire on this Orion. We're holding on to the Rocket 20 for right now. But I don't want to build up too much heat, so just the PPC and X3 on the rotary AC5.
I copy.
Solid damage into that Orion's torso so far. Yeah, that's going quite well. The Battlemaster is just going to move over to here. And we're going to do some armor shred on this Orion if we can.
I copy.
We did miss the X-Pulse laser, or rather the heavy laser. Unfortunate, but it is fine.
Yep.
Our long-range Centurion, I would like to position out over here. Apparently that's in the minefield. This is not in the minefield.
Going
We'll
full
position it
throttle.
here, and we're going to continue to fire on that Orion. Hopefully we'll get some crits, but we're going to fish for them. We're going to fire the light tag first. Yeah, there's some crit fishing, but not too
Nice.
much there. Now that
Don't have
Orion
the
is
armor.
unsteady from that.
Yes,
The
Commander.
Black Knight can step over here. It will get some fast cam mines popping.
Affirmative.
That's always going to be a thing. Otherwise, we're going to fire on this Orion, and we're just not going to fire our X-Pulses here to not build up too much heat. And actually, we're going to fire the X-Pulses and not the LRMs, is what we're going to do here. I don't want to waste those LRM ammo rounds.
Roger that.
Okay, solid damage into that Orion. Next round, we can definitely kill the Orion. So the cavalry closes in. The helicopters are just generally closing in.
Standing by.
The Awesome is going to head up over this way. I think the Orion is dealt with.
Moving to position.
And so the Awesome is going to look out over this way. 18% on the cavalry, 25 on the Ripper, 47 on the other Orion, 28, 18, 28. Okay, that makes for an obvious choice of firing on the Orion with the heavy PPCs, but I'm only going to fire one because of heat.
Acknowledge.
Solid hit there. We actually exposed that structure. That's a big deal.
Waiting on you, Commander.
So the Wolverine is going to position... Honestly, I think it's going to position over here.
Affirmative.
We're going to use the Wolverine to fire on this Orion. This is probably a kill, but we're not going to fire... How about the PPC here? And the heavy laser. Just the small heavy laser, ER medium, and the MRM. This is probably going to kill, but we're also going to sink heat. There we go.
Did you see that? Did you see it?
I did see that. And it was fantastic. We're happy about that. The A-11 firing on the Awesome and missing.
Yeah.
The Centurion is going to make its way up over here. I do want it to get into the cover, so we're going to do so. We're going to sprint. That will hurt our hit odds, but that's fine. 6.9, 8.8. We're probably best off firing on this Orion, and yeah, that is indeed the case. We're going to avoid firing the chaff, but everything else.
Attacking from position.
Solid hits there.
Oh, yeah.
So we've almost got their ambush force taken care of. And from here, it will not be so bad. This will be pretty much fine. Phase 18, who are they going to move? That guy's a jerk. That should be its last round of missiles, though, right? On the rocket techie? It's still got some rocket pack 10s. Okay. Well, we're going to work on taking out the rocket techie next. That was always the plan. So the Orion is just going to stay exactly where it is, and we're going to turn and face the rocket techie here. We're going to fire on it. We're going to fire our own rockets. I want to guarantee its death.
Aye, aye.
And there we go. Rocket techie is down, and the ambushing force is basically dealt with. So we've got a couple helicopters to deal with, and the insurgent leader, who is still way up here. That'll be interesting to get to. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to finish cutting our way through their reinforcements and getting to the insurgent leader. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.